The USL Wednesday double continues on Golazo. We started on the East Coast, now we get some sunlight for a little while again out west as both Oakland and Las Vegas push to shine brighter. Warm-ups are brought to you by UCSF Health. Warming up with you here on Golazo. My name is Mark Schoenster. I'm joined by former professional player himself, Ricky Lopez Espin. Let's get you briefed on everything you need to know going into this game. First off, of course, where these two teams sit in the standings. Oakland off to a good start this season, even though they haven't gotten some contributions from some vets who have proven it in years past. Meanwhile, for Las Vegas Lights, no need to panic just yet, but now that you're starting to see progress, you got to start picking up points and results now as the season keeps going along. Devin Rensing shared that sentiment going into this match. Now, let's catch you up on where these two teams were last time out. Oakland Roots, what a crazy game against Tulsa.
It starts with Wolfgang Prentice getting a goal really well taken, but then the injury bugs start to hit for the Oakland Roots. Garcia, Bravo, across that back line, both go out injured, so you have players that are shifting and turning. Neville Hackshaw picks up a silly red, but for Ryan Martin, yes, you drop 2 points in the end, but a positive that you can take is the ability to deal with adversity. Look for them to start on the front foot here at home.
And the fallout from that game leads us into tonight's player to watch, Michael Edwards, presented by UCSF Health.
This back line is going to look different for Ryan Martin and the Oakland Roots. So Michael Edwards, he needs to be a leader in terms of his communication, in terms of his organization, that understanding that players in front of him, McCabe and Velo, need to drop off and be a little bit more defensive to start this game. Look for him to be good at that center back position.
Pivoting over to Las Vegas Lights, last time out against Sac Republic, we're seeing some progress here.
Good performance for Devin Rensing and Las Vegas Lights in terms of Aaron Gann getting a goal from distance, but again, they need to do a better job in both boxes. Having the ability to win your individual duels defensively is going to be key for the Las Vegas Lights as they progress in 2026.
And two options they have on the attack, really experienced here.
Manuel Arteaga, he's big, he's physical, he wants to play with his back to goal, and he can combine with the players underneath him. Johnny Rodriguez is going to play at that number 10 role, so the game is going to be in front of him, so he can attack. His movement, and a former of an Oakland Roots player, so look for these two players to be motivated to really test the Roots here on the road.
Things can get wacky on a Wednesday. Find out what action unfolds after this break on the CBS Sports Golazo Network. It's the Roots and the Lights.
Sana, sana.
Sana, sana, colita de rana.
Sana, sana, colita de rana. Si no sanas hoy,
sanará mañana.
Learn about low to no-cost health insurance with Anthem Blue Cross, so you and your family can sana sana.
A lot of people don't know this about UCSF, but we have more female sports doctors than anywhere else in the country.
Our Women's Sports Medicine Center is the first clinic in the Bay Area to focus on female patients. We would reconstruct the ACL. Our bodies are different. Our injuries are different.
We are constantly staying up to date on the latest science.
And we're all athletes ourselves, so we understand what their goals are.
We love to help athletes get back to doing what they love.
UCSF Health.
You've earned this, so hold it up high. You might not be related, but you're still family. You don't just give an extra hand. You give your whole heart and a whole lot of muscle. Because it feels good to raise up the community that raised you. You are a fighter, and this is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
The USL on CBS is presented by Best Western Hotels and Resorts, the official hotel partner of the United Soccer League, and by Anthem Blue Cross. Starting lineups are brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross. First up, the reconfigured back line for the Oakland Roots.
Edwards and Biarahong will be the two center backs, with the players ahead of them, Batash, Florian below, and Tommy McCabe need to do a really good job in terms of the rotation. We might see Florian below push a little bit higher and play as dual 10s. Tommy McCabe will pull the strings from a deep line position, an extension of the coaching staff, as Ryan Martin calls Tommy McCabe.
Meanwhile, on the Las Vegas side of things, 4 changes from that Sac Republic game.
You're looking at that front four. Okire is going to play on the right-hand side. He's actually left-footed, so he might come century to look to combine to go 1v1. He has the pace to be expansive and to be vertical. Pinzon will play on the left-hand side. Arteaga is going to stay high, and Johnny Rodriguez is going to have the freedom to go and float. Walker and Ibarra, look for them to stay at home and try to win that midfield battle.
Elias Garte getting just his second start of the season. Meanwhile, Blake Pope making his debut with Las Vegas Lights in this game. So a couple of less familiar faces on that back line today as well for the Lights, though Garte, a returning player from not just last season, but the season prior as well. So not by any means unfamiliar with playing for Las Vegas, but hasn't been getting as many minutes here in year 3 as he had in years past. Our head official for this evening's game is Mohamed Hassan. The Roots are in the black kits. It's the white for Las Vegas. For the first time this season, it's the Lights and the Roots here at the Oakland Coliseum. Mark Schoenster, Ricky Lopez Espin with you here on the Golazo Network. The second of 2 games today in the USL Championship on Golazo, the first of which an absolute throttling on the hands of Rhode Island against Charleston Battery. We'll see what this game has in store for us as Peter Wilson has it over in the right channel. Cutting pass falls inside. Wilson picks up the pieces, has a go, parried down on the ground. Jared Mazzola getting the start here this evening. His 6th start of the season for Las Vegas Lights. After last game, it was Charlie Lanphier who got the opportunity between the sticks.
A really good start here on the right-hand side for the Oakland Roots. Love that second touch from Peter Wilson. All he's trying to do is bend it around that far post. Mazzola doing a good job in his positioning early on in this match.
Peter Wilson still looking for his first goal this season. Both him and Danny Trejo in that regard, which obviously you imagine at some point in time that form's going to pick up, given the track record those two have. But Oakland Roots so far have been able to fare and get results despite their lack of contributions on the goal scoring side of things. That last game was Wolfgang Prentice, who has been able to provide the goal scoring so far this season with 4 goals and an assist. That Tulsa game, a 1-1 draw here at home over the weekend. And that first half, you touched base on it going into this broadcast, and Ryan Martin said he'd never seen a half like that before. Just had to keep making changes, used 2 of his substitution windows in the first half, and then ended up using his third just about 15 or so minutes into the second half. He said, we put a lot of guys in uncomfortable spots, and there was no complaining as Wilson's through. Peter Wilson! It's off target. Still trying to find that breakthrough.
Fantastic little pocket of space from Florian Velo. He pulls out Jones, and this is a great look from Mark Crew right off the shoulder of Peter Wilson. It's a really difficult technique to have it to start outside to come back in. Better opportunity just to lift it up and over Mazzola, who's caught off of his line.
Second game in a row that Peter Wilson's had a one-on-one with the goalkeeper and hasn't been able to convert. Ryan Martin mentioned he puts a lot of pressure on himself, especially with each game that he doesn't score, but he was reassuring to us that this is a guy that doesn't just contribute through scoring goals. He's been pretty crucial in a lot of elements of what they do, so certainly not losing any faith as Rafael Spiegel has to get himself out of an uncomfortable situation there. There's a look at Ryan Martin after 7 years with Loudoun United. Makes the coastal switch. He had a game on Golazo Network on a Wednesday in years past. It would have been the first of the two games as this one makes its way through. And a cutting pass goes behind any intended target.
You need Arteaga to be more aggressive there. That is a ball that's bouncing about 9 yards away from your attacking goal. Why not just have it go and put pressure on Spiegel and the Oakland Roots back line?
And now dancing with the ball is Carson Locker. As this one's now lofted up the pitch, hoping to find Wilson, but instead Nate Jones nods it out of play. All good here. Jacquesson able to get back on his feet. Got upended there.
And there is a little bit of tactical changes for the Oakland Roots and the Las Vegas Lights. Tommy McCabe is actually playing as a center back next to Edwards, so Biara Hunga and Florin Velo will be the two players sitting on the other side for the Las Vegas Lights. Gartig and Jones, the two center backs. So that means Guillen will pop off to this left back position, and Pope will play at the right back for Devin Rensing.
Blake Pope making his debut after spending 3 years with Portland Timbers 2 in the MLS Next Pro ranks. So it was a 1-1 draw last time out for Oakland, 1-1 draw last time out for Devin Rensing and his crew against Sac Republic. A game that he said the guys were disappointed to not get all 3 points, which is obviously a good thing. And we want your players to feel like they could have earned all 3 points at home. And it's worth noting, though, on the counterpoint, Sac Republic's a good team, and they're a tough group to break down, but he felt they created a lot of good moments in that match and could have come away with all 3, especially in front of the home crowd.
Yeah, you just see this heavy touch here from Locker. Peter Wilson comes through and catches, seems to be his right ankle. He's been active 7 minutes in. Peter Wilson, the reigning Golden Boot winner in the USL Championship.
Even though he hasn't scored yet this season, you know that not only is the team internally not panicking, but I imagine fans aren't necessarily panicking either, because he got really hot late in the season in 2025.
Now, you and I, Mark, had the ability to speak with Ryan Martin ahead of this match. We talked about the season thus far. It seemed to be a handball on Danny Trejo. We talked about the season thus far. Ryan Martin was really open and honest, saying, look, throughout the early portions, if you told me we would only have 1 loss, Peter Wilson unable to find the back of the net, Danny Trejo unable to find the back of the net, Florin Velo getting his first start here today, he would have taken it. Good little interchange here.
I think the words he used were, I would have called you crazy if you told me that in the preseason. That goes to show you that other guys on the team have been stepping up for Oakland, and they're going to need some more stepping up here in this affair, especially along that back line. Wolfgang Prentice, who has been more of an attacking option this season, now having to slot in at left back, though. He'll still have some opportunities to venture forward with the legs that he's got. But obviously it's not what they prefer, but Ryan Martin said that these guys understand these roles and we trust each of them in their individual spots. So still pretty confident, even if it's not the 4-back configuration that he's hoping for throughout the season. Lofted ball sent in. Bounces over to the right-hand side. And tracking back is Danny Trejo. Runs out of real estate. It'll roll out 4th throw for Las Vegas. For the visitors, it's been a slow start to this season as far as results are concerned, but over this last stretch of games, the improvement in play has been seen match by match. Devin Rensing mentioning since that Tulsa game, there have been steady upgrades with each individual game. They picked up some points along the way, less than he'd like, sure, but the progress is the really important part, because you imagine if you're getting better each game, then the results are going to come.
Better on the defensive side, for sure, for this FC Tulsa side, or excuse me, for this Las Vegas Light side. FC Tulsa, they were really expansive, really spread apart, but they've been a little bit more compact, a little bit difficult to break through, and that's giving them a little bit more confidence to go and attack games.
Okire steps into a shot, and it ends up rolling wide. Roots family, the 2026 Oakland Roots jerseys are here. Inspired by the legend of the Oakness Monster and the spirit of the town. Fresh look, same Oakland energy. Don't wait, grab yours now. Shop now at shop.oaklandrootssc.com. The Oakness Monster, Ricky. Not to be confused with the one across the pond. Also used to be the name of a roller coaster I would ride growing up. Shout out the Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah, not a fan of roller coasters.
Really?
No. You? Yeah?
Oh, absolutely. Love them. We'll see exactly how adrenaline pumping this game can get. Midweek fixtures sometimes can get pretty wild. Michael Edwards booting that one away.
It's about the second time that Johnny Rodriguez has had the ability to get free on that far side. Arteaga needs to get goal side. He needs to come across Michael Edwards there. It is just so difficult for Johnny Rodriguez to lift this ball and almost put it on a platter for Arteaga when he peels off the shoulder. As a number 9, winning that body position and real estate battle in around that 18-yard box, so important.
Always hear the drumming, the chanting, and the music here from the Oakland faithful. Always also have a extra little bit of events or activities happening at all these games, and today they're celebrating Earth Day. A lot of encouraging of fans to take public transportation to the match, which I can certainly get behind. No need to ride a roller coaster to get there. You can take a bus or the metro.
I can do that, not the roller coaster.
This one falls over to the right-hand side. This is Blake Pope on the ball. Ibarra slides it out wide to Akire. Second chop made its way over to Guillen. Curling ball. Falls down to Rodriguez. Couldn't quite settle that one.
As this ball comes wide, Tommy McCabe just unable to read the flight of it. Center midfielder dropping back into center back role, so the spacing is a little bit different for Tommy McCabe here. But you need to clear this ball. Thankfully, Wolfgang Prentice does a good job at rotating across and just picking the pocket of Johnny Rodriguez.
With the explosiveness and the experience of this attacking front for Las Vegas, knowing that it's not the usual assembly of defenders for Oakland Roots, you know that they're going to be trying to test everything. Below, tripped up, draws the foul. Savvy vet, getting his first start of the season, as you mentioned earlier. Talking about those attacking weapons for Las Vegas, Ryan Martin said, look, they've got good size, like to possess the ball. Lots of talented attackers, including an option off the bench, Ben Mines, who played for Ryan Martin prior. You mentioned that this is not going to be quite the direct game that Tulsa match was, but should be an entertaining one, as both sides will certainly try to show their flair as this match goes along. Prentice trying to make a venture forward, but he's shrugged away by Okire. Patash sliding it through the middle. Wilson couldn't corral it. They'll try to go the other way quickly. Unsuccessful in that endeavor. Tommy McCabe was there for it.
Yeah, really well done there from McCabe in terms of his positioning, because you see what Las Vegas Lights are trying to do once they do recover the ball. They're leaving Arteaga or Rodriguez extremely high, and their first look is always going to be direct in behind the Oakland Roots.
Interruption there from Bioranga. And then a sliding pass forward. Couldn't reach Trejo. They'll try to find him again. Unsuccessful once more. This is where that communication is so important for Oakland. Got guys in spots they're not used to. Oof.
It's about the second time that Spiegel's been really casual with the ball at his feet. If you are Johnny Rodriguez or Manuel Arteaga, you continue to put pressure on the goalkeeper. Good action here for the Roots.
Trejo rushing forward. Pope's in front of him. Trejo inside to Wilson. Not a clean connection. And it's out for a goal kick.
Love what we've seen from Danny Trejo in this particular action. Notice how he runs at Pope with pace. That puts the defender on his heels. That creates a little bit of separation. And as Peter Wilson starts on the blind side, last second comes across Jones. Unable to make clean contact there, but the movement ahead of the ball really well done from Peter Wilson.
Patash tried to shield the ball away. Okire with the back heel sets it free. Both sides have knocked on the door, but neither one just yet truly testing Bazzola or Spiegel. Although, of course, it's with both different teams. Devin Rensing familiar with coaching against Ryan Martin-led teams as the flag goes up. And Oakland will pick up possession once again. Oakland Roots are back at the Oakland Coliseum for AAPI Heritage Night on Saturday, May 9th at 7 p.m. versus El Paso Locomotive. We hear they have a special halftime performance by Oakland's own Seiji Oda. Limited single game tickets are still available, so secure yours now before they sell out. Visit oaklandrootssc.com/tickets or call 510-488-1144. Like I said, always a little extra festivities going on at these Oakland games. Add some extra appeal for those who maybe are on the fence about going to a soccer game. We'll get some music, some camaraderie as Prentice cuts this one across to Wilson! He finds his first! And Oakland Roots are on the board. Long sought after Peter Wilson, the reigning Golden Boot, opens his account in 2026.
That far side for the Oakland Roots have a sense of verticality, of movement off of the ball, and understanding between Danny Trejo and Wolfgang Prentice. Notice Wolfgang Prentice, how he recycles his run. He blind packs up, plays off the blind side of Pope, and it's a good early ball. Peter Wilson, his timing impeccable. Plays in between Gartic and Guillen, and that's a really good ball in terms of the location between the back line and between the goalkeeper. Mazzola can't get to it. Not the cleanest of touches from Peter Wilson, but he'll take it, and the Oakland Roots are off and running.
Second assist of the season for Prentice. First goal of the year for Peter Wilson, who had 19 of them last year. And you say maybe not the cleanest touch, but you just got to see one go in.
Yeah, confidence is everything for a striker.
Jakusun rolls it across. They're trying to find that number 9 again.
And so many times in 2025, Peter Wilson found the back of the net just because of his movement. The ability to play on the blind side of his individual marker, the timing, when to arrive into the 18-yard box, and that is going to be music to the ears for the Oakland Roots and Ryan Martin to see him start to grow a little bit of confidence.
And our first corner kick of the evening, powered by Ava Community Energy. As Jesus De Vicente will whip this one in for the home side.
Ava Community Energy, clean power, lower rates, brighter communities.
Let's see what the Spaniard can cook up here. Punched away by Mazzola. Second curling effort. Once again, dished out. So the Roots claim an early lead for the second game in a row, and we're looking to make this first half a little less eventful than that previous one.
But on the other side, Mark, for Devin Renting, it's going to be really frustrating. The way that you can see that goal, really similar to how Sacramento Republic scored the goal. The ball goes wide and just movement ahead of the ball. Understanding if you are center back and there is service coming in, you need to be touch tight with an individual marker. The last thing that you want is Peter Wilson to find a nice little pocket of space. He's going to make you pay every single time.
De Vicente tried to back heel and cut it back to Jakusun. He'll go out for a goal kick, and I think that this point Devin Rensing made is even more important now. He said in this game against Oakland, it's all about personality. You go down a goal, you got to show some of that attitude, that flair now, especially from your guys up top. Ardiaga, Rodriguez, Pinzon, Okire. You know, ready and willing to buck against the way this game has gone.
Good touch.
How about that from Wolfgang Prentice? Serving up assists on one end and being composed on the back line on the other side of things. Edwards. Out wide it goes once again to De Vicente. He finds Jakusun. It's a good cutting pass. And it's smashed home! Faisal Batash, a bashing finish. It has been an incisive opening here for the Oakland Roots, and they have just doubled their lead.
Phenomenal football being played here by the Oakland Roots. They are quick, they are decisive. Batash is the one that actually starts this whole individual action. As he drops in a little bit deeper, that allows the players ahead of him to be more aggressive and to pin back this Las Vegas light side. Good underlapping run from Jakusun, and that is a clever ball. Back across, you come back across the body, and just notice the technical ability, the patience to let it come to your preferred left foot and just tattoo this thing. Just no chance for Mazzola, and the Oakland Roots double their lead here in high fashion.
They have inked themselves a 2-0 lead here in the opening 25 minutes of action. First goal of the season for the man from London. And it has been a wonderful start to this game for the home team.
But understanding again for Devin Rensing, once this ball goes wide and Gartic does get pulled out, Jones needs to rotate over. You cannot allow about 15 yards between your two center backs, or Mark Ibarra and Locker need to drop in and just provide a little bit of security blanket and track those runners. You cannot have a player like Batash to make a run over 30 yards unmarked and find the second for the Oakland Roots.
Oakland right now trying to find their first win since March 14th. You can look at it in two lights this recent stretch of games. You've only lost one game in the last 4, but the other 3 are draws, and so you're trying to get 3 points once again here in the early parts of the season, and they're off to a great start in that regard. Lots of game left to be played, and again, you're working with a pseudo patchworked back line, so you got to make sure you keep it all together for the rest of the match, and that's all the reasons why Las Vegas still has reasons to think that they can get 2 goals in this game, especially with the firepower they've got.
You've talked about personality needed for the Las Vegas Lights. You also need players that recognize the situation, saying we need to take the game away from the Oakland Roots and take the sting out of this thing. So Ibarra, Locker, the players centrally, put your foot on the ball, slow it down, get some confidence within your system, because Manuel Arteaga only 8 touches through the early parts, and Johnny Rodriguez 9. Not good enough for your 2 attacking players that need to be goal-scoring threats.
It's a tussle for the ball there. That glances off of Nate Jones, debatably a handball, but ultimately it's Oakland possession one way or another. And they will be given it as a free kick. Essentially serves the same function here. Prentice couldn't quite settle it down on his first touch. And now what'll the decision be? Blake Pope does not like the way the ref was pointing.
And it's something that's so small. But in that last action, Batash drops deeper. That allows Wolfgang Prentice to stay high and wide. And we've seen how critical the wide parts of the field are for the Oakland Roots, pitting back both outside backs for the Las Vegas Lights.
Another corner kick powered by Ava Community Energy, this time from the left corner flag. Service will be provided by Florian Velo. The Frenchman sends it inside, nodded away by Okire. Velo feeling the heat from Arteaga. Had to get that one right with Rodriguez prowling. This will roll all the way back. Rafael Spiegel, the Swiss goalkeeper, will distribute over to the left-hand side. McCabe, one of the 3 Loudoun United players who has stuck with Ryan Martin on that coast-to-coast transition. And those 3 players, referring to McCabe below, and then lastly Keegan Tingey, who hasn't made his debut yet this season, have been so critical to the blending process with what is a good chunk of returning players from this Oakland team last season. So you kind of have to take a little bit of what this team was identity-wise and then what your identity has been over 7 years with Loudoun and kind of make it a perfect marriage here. And it's been a good start to the season as Wilson settles this one down. And he draws the free kick. He's pushed over. Nate Jones guilty of the foul there.
Jones and Gartic having a really difficult time dealing with the movement and the timing of Peter Wilson. Once this ball gets turned over quickly, Peter Wilson starts his movement. If you are one of the 2 center backs and understand there's no pressure on the ball, you need to drop. Peter Wilson's just too quick. You need to give yourself about a 5-yard buffer so you can step into him, but also be aware of where he is at all times.
Another vantage point on a set piece for the Oakland Roots. Peter Wilson opening his account this season. Same can be said about Faisal Batash. Below, trying to knot it over to the corner for Prentice. He was also part of the goal scoring contributions in the game here today. Far from his first contribution this season. Kudos were given by Ryan Martin to Nana Atakora, the director of soccer for this Oakland Roots team, for really putting together a good squad. Not only, of course, keeping and retaining guys who would really fit in with the regime change, but also bringing in some other impact players. Looking like a team that is hoping to contend this season over in the Western Conference. Giving chase here is Arteaga. Apply some pressure, and they're going to call a foul on Arteaga as he knocked over Michael Edwards. The USL on the CBS Sports Network wraps up the month of April with the Brinks Tires USL Cup Group 5 matchup. Northeastern rivals Hartford Athletic and Rhode Island FC battle it out at 7 p.m. Eastern on April 25th. Catch all the action on the CBS Sports Network. Well, there's one big issue with this read here, Ricky, and it's that it doesn't mention that you're on the game.
It's going to be an interesting game, obviously. Hartford Athletic, Rhode Island, two clubs close in proximity, do not like each other. Rhode Island coming off of a fantastic result, like you just mentioned, Mark, taking down Charleston Battery, 4-0 for Connell Smith and company.
So far, through 120 minutes today, Charleston Battery and the coaching tree spanning to Devin Rensing haven't had a good Wednesday night so far.
I mean, just look, when building out of the back for the Las Vegas Lights, there's just no connection. There's no one that plays in between lines. It seems like it's a back line and a front line. While you see Arteaga, Pinzon, Johnny Rodriguez almost isolated through 31 minutes of this match.
This will rotate over to the left-hand side for Trejo. He's able to get by two defenders. They're able to recoup, and Trejo rolls it back. And Oakland in no need to force anything here, up 2 goals. Got to get those guys at the top of the shape. More involvement here. Devin Rensing making an effort to make sure both Rodriguez and Arteaga can start in a match. Mentioned that he wants them out there together, and he knows there won't be any ego about it between those two, even though there's a lot of USL Championship goals shared amongst them in their history.
But just look at the left side of the screen. You have 3 players just staying as high as you possibly can, just on their heels. Now Arteaga makes a run, and that run, what it does, it opens up space for Aaron Guillen in this pocket of space. So you have to have the ability to understand, if we're going to make runs, you're going to draw out the Oakland Roots. That is when someone needs to come to feet, but it's been too pedestrian-like for the Las Vegas Lights across the front.
Tash taps it back to Wilson after they were able to recover the ball, keeping Las Vegas from really starting to develop something. Prentice. Oh, a late shove and a clash against the board. Kire will get a talking to from Mohamed Hassan, our head official.
Positive first touch from Wolfgang Prentice. Notice how he continued with his momentum to break a line of Okire. The foul, little drop of the shoulder through the back of Wolfgang Prentice. Lucky not to see yellow there, Okire.
At the same time, the pressure he applied was successful. It looked like it was going to be a giveaway if you just throw in that last shove.
No need. You're always going to get called for the foul when you drop your shoulder and you come through the back of an opposing player.
Okire in his first year playing in the States, coming over from FC Haka, which is Finland's second division. At least, that's where they are currently. When he was there, he was playing in the top flight with them. Trejo. Batash rolls it out wide to Prentice. Wolfgang Prentice wins the corner kick.
Fans want access to the treehouse all season long.
That'll be another Ava Community Energy corner kick.
Just the progression of Wolfgang Prentice over the last 2 seasons has been astonishing to witness.
Feel the energy right in the heart of the action.
Florian Villa will make his way over to the corner flag. And a lot of positives in this first half for the Oakland Roots. Oh, we're gonna have to try this again. And now that mental note is there for Las Vegas. Hey, watch out for Batash. You would imagine that you'd want to stay keyed in on a guy who smashed one home earlier in the game. Curling ball returned back to sender. So we'll get a third take here. Second one that'll count. Mazzola got a fist on it, and that's enough to knock it out of harm's way. They're just swarming them right now, Oakland.
Their first every 50-50 ball. Doing a good job at closing down space. And just the physical output, a lot better than the lights right now.
De Vicente. Lovely ball up ahead, but couldn't be brought in by Trejo. Nice progressive pass. Doesn't end up connecting. The idea is there. McCabe. Below, able to fill in behind Tommy McCabe and keep possession nice and steady here for the home side. Las Vegas still trying to find their attacking form here in 2026. As we get our first booking of the evening, and this one seems more so a repeat infraction situation for Abraham Okire.
Has been walking a really fine line, Okire, after that foul on Wolfgang Prentice. This time just kind of backs up into Florian Villa and impedes his run right in front of Ryan Martin. You see in the background, both hands up for the manager. Big test in terms of the discipline now for the winger for the Las Vegas Lights.
The Ghanaian, 3 goals this season. Can be really dangerous for them. He's one of those guys they're trying to reactivate here. Watch the USL Championship in Spanish on 2DN, the nation's leading Spanish language sports network. Go to uslchampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. The 38th minute of this one. 2 goals scored in the span of about 5 minutes for the Oakland Roots. Peter Wilson getting his first. Faisal Batash getting his first in 2026. And it has been a very Oakland-leaning game so far, outside of just the score sheet. Batash, lovely ball out wide. This one took a deflection, and it goes out for another corner kick. Oh, it's been corrected to a goal kick now.
But just the space Batash has been able to pick up in between the lines allows Wolfgang Prentice to be as high as he possibly can. And again, first time ball causing some issues for the Lights as this ball does come across. Jones doing a good job this time at saying like for like with Peter Wilson. Dangerous set piece here for the Roots.
Oh, we've been faked out. Pointed to the corner, then pointed to the goal, and now back to the corner again for this Ava Community Energy corner kick. Got to keep us on our toes here on Golazo. It'll be Florian Velo. Took 2 nods, but Las Vegas able to deal with it. Biaranga able to manage that one with ease, and as we approach 40 minutes transpired. As you just saw, 5 corners to 0. I think that's another good indicator about just the side of the pitch this one's been tilting towards.
All one-way traffic for Ryan Martin and company. Really comfortable through 40 minutes, specifically when building out of the back. How deep Florian Velo is sitting. Narango as well, and allows Batash to stay high underneath Peter Wilson. In that central location for Devin Rensing, you need to be a little bit more compact within your defensive shape because the Oakland Roots are just playing right through you.
Let's see if they can find a spark here in the last 5 minutes before going into the halftime break. Las Vegas Lights need something here. I mean, obviously, best case scenario, you find a goal, but you just need to find some positivity. De Vicente fed that one forward for Batash. Trying to get inventive with it, Batash, but didn't quite have the intended effect. Pinzon, he's been awfully quiet in this game as he gets tripped up.
5 touches for Pinzon. Tells you this struggles offensively for the Las Vegas Lights.
Okire, chest it forward. Prentice is there on him. Abraham Okire. Now in a zip tie, can't get out of it.
That's really good work from Florian Velo just to drop down and help out Wolfgang Prentice. Good recognition from an experienced player for the Roots.
And on the other side, veteran experience showing itself. Peter Wilson able to get tossed down. You mentioned it earlier, Ricky, and Ryan Martin said, we're pretty happy with where we're at this point in the year, but we're also aware of how far we can grow. You tell me January, just 1 loss. You got no goals from Danny Trejo and Peter Wilson coming into the game, and Florian Velo hasn't even gotten his first start, then I'd be elated and maybe not believe you. Well, Velo's not gotten his first start. Peter Wilson has his first goal. So perhaps it's that next gear that's shifting forward here for the Oakland Roots.
When the Oakland Roots side is at full strength, now you have so much flexibility in the way that you can attack games, whether it is your formation. Ryan Martin can feel comfortable with 3 in the back, play 4 in the back, throw in another attacking player. You have a lot of relationships starting to come together in that central location. Florian Velo can play higher, he can play deeper. Batash has shown his capabilities as well. Where does Tommy McCabe-Aralhunga come into the picture? There's just so many opportunities for Ryan Martin to really press the button to try to find which is the best for the Oakland Roots going forward.
Well, you know, the funny thing is here, Ricky, too, is we touched base and we've covered the reconfiguration of the back line in this game for the Oakland Roots, and you talk about that flexibility, and it's funny because the formation that got out there actually lends itself to being even more aggressive offensively because Wolfgang Prentice isn't even technically one of your attacking players now. Hasn't stopped him from getting an assist in this game and being heavily involved offensively. Pinzon. not able to make any progress, so he'll retain possession by dragging it back to Nate Jones. Prentice. Able to poke it up ahead to Trejo.
Good first touch there from Jockerson.
Pinzon able to put some pressure on the rookie, Jesus De Vicente, and win the ball back for Las Vegas, but the pocket is picked. Batash up ahead to Wilson. Gives it back to Batash. Tried to let it fly. It's blocked immediately. Yaranga. Back out to De Vicente. Bertrand Jacquesson. And that one will hit the side netting and be the end of that offensive opportunity. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the grassroots to the pros, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us, us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Nate Jones will tap this one back to Elias Gartig. Haven't had a ton of stoppages in this game outside of the goal, so we're just going to get one more minute here before halftime.
And just not enough movement for the lights ahead of the ball. It's been a really comfortable 45 minutes for the Roots offensively. Everything has been in front of Tommy McCabe and Michael Edwards here.
The whistle sounds from Mohamed Hassan. Not the halftime whistle, but a foul. Though it may not be too many moments longer before we get the halftime whistle. McCabe gonna wave the numbers forward as looks like he's setting up to give this one a proper launch. And off it goes. And the halftime whistle now sounds from Mohamed Hassan. It has been all the way of Oakland after 45 minutes. Peter Wilson, Faisal Batash, both getting their first goals of the season. And it's been all upside for the Roots.
If you are Ryan Martin, you're the happier of the two managers across the board. Your effort was a lot higher. Your movement was a lot better. You were a lot more clinical in both boxes. For Devin Rensing, personality is a word that's going to continue to come up. You're looking for someone to shoulder the responsibility and show a little bit of reaction for the Las Vegas Lights in the second 45.
All right, well, we have got halftime here as far as game action is concerned, but we've got a lot to talk about here on the Golazo Network during halftime, so stay locked in. We'll talk about Oakland's flip around this season and the upcoming opening weekend of the USL Cup. We'll see you then.
Sana, sana.
Sana, sana, colita de rana.
Sana, sana, colita de rana. Si no sanas hoy,
Sanará mañana.
Infórmese sobre un seguro médico de bajo costo o sin costo con Anthem Blue Cross. Así usted y su familia pueden sana.
You've earned this, so hold it up high. It doesn't just have great bones. It was the backbone of your community. So you breathe in new life, grinding away to make space for tomorrow, for your people. This isn't just a restoration. It's a revival. Because you're always willing to double down on your neighborhood. You are a fighter, and this is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
A lot of people don't know this about UCSF, but we have more female sports doctors than anywhere else in the country.
Our Women's Sports Medicine Center is the first clinic in the Bay Area to focus on female patients. We would reconstruct the ACL. Our bodies are different. Our injuries are different.
We are constantly staying up to date on the latest science.
And we're all athletes ourselves, so we understand what their goals are.
We love to help athletes get back to doing what they love.
UCSF Health.
Halftime here at the Oakland Coliseum, and it has been a Viking-sized positive first half for the Oakland Roots. Mark Schoenster, Ricky Lopez-Espin with you here on Golazo. Let's kind of look at what looked like last season for Oakland Roots coming into this season. A lot more positive this go around. Obviously, they had a coaching change in the middle of the season last year. You bring in Ryan Martin, a lot of upside here.
Identity has been everything for Ryan Martin, understanding what it takes to be successful in USL Championship. He did that with Loudoun United, and it starts defensively. Solidify the tactical formation, get 4 across the back. You have 2 center midfielders in this game, Florin Velo, Batash sitting right in front, and then you allow your players higher up the field to be a little bit more expansive. And a big part is bringing players over with him that he's comfortable and understanding how he wants to run his camp and the standard that Ryan Martin continues to set. Good start in 26 for the Oakland Roots.
Ricky, you excited for the World Cup?
I am. Are you?
Oh, I'm very excited for the World Cup, and the USL is as well because we've got some representation. So let's go pitch it to Dan Lucas, who's going to give us the overlap of what the USL and the international game has in store for us.
With the field for World Cup 2026 now set, the USL can enjoy its place in the countdown to history. Never before has an active USL player taken part in a World Cup, until now. For the past 2.5 years, more than 30 players from USL Championship and League One battled through World Cup qualifying. This summer, 6 of them have a chance to hit the field for their respective country. Miami FC teammates Eloy Ram and Jurgen Locadia made history, helping Curacao qualify for the World Cup for the first time ever. Curacao will face Germany, Ivory Coast, and Ecuador in group play. And for the first time since 1974, Haiti will take part in the World Cup, following a very unique road through qualifying. 4 championship players, Duke Lacroix and Garvin Matusala of Colorado Springs, Delence Pierre from FC Tulsa, and Carl Sente from New Mexico United led Haiti through qualifying without playing a home match. Now the Haitian team faces a tough group at the World Cup with matches against Brazil, Morocco, and Scotland. But while World Cup qualifying owned the spotlight in late March, several USL players took part on U.S. youth national teams, also on the world stage. Colton Swan of Charleston Battery scored a goal for the U.S. Under-20 team against Argentina in Argentina. Orange County SC's Tyson Espy played for the Under-17 team in Paraguay. And the U.S. Under-18 team played in Portugal, featuring Ramiz Hamuda from Birmingham Legion, Brandon Days of Louisville City, and Jameer Johnson from Orange County SC.
This week on USL All Access, it's the convergence of cups. We walk through the round of 32 in US Open Cup, getting ready for the first round of group stage games in the Brinks Cup.
Off-season roster building comparisons between the Tampa Bay Rowdies and Sporting Jacksonville. What's the biggest difference between the two that has caused the early year success for the Tampa Bay Rowdies?
You'll see it SiriusXM FC or the USL YouTube page every Tuesday night.
Sana, sana.
Sana, sana, colita de rana.
Sana, sana, colita de rana. Si no sanas hoy,
sanará mañana.
Learn about low to no cost health insurance with Anthem Blue Cross, so you and your family can sana sana.
You've earned this, so hold it up high. You put on the biggest event of the year every single weekend, surviving the strongest storms, meeting chaos with composure. You roll up your sleeves to roll out the red carpet, because the end of the night for you is the beginning of the rest of their lives. You are a fighter, and this is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
Featuring at the pitch community group, Trash Falcons. The Trash Falcons have at every Sunday rain or shine in August.
In the USL Championship, time for some of the headlines for this week. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio. Albert Dequa's return to the Pittsburgh Riverhounds this season provided a magical moment. In Week 7, Dequa's goal in added time led Pittsburgh to a 2-1 win over Detroit City. 2 goals on the night gave Dequa his 60th in the USL Championship. 40 goals as a member of the Riverhounds, the 12th player in championship history to accomplish that milestone with one club. Corey Bennett of Colorado Springs scored 2 goals against Monterey Bay in Week 7. That's 6 goals for the season, the Golden Boot lead through 7 games, and that total matches the season high for an individual player from the Switchbacks in 2025. Orange County SC sits atop the Western Conference entering this week in big part to the club's defensive performances. Good luck scoring on this team right now. 5 shutouts already with just 3 goals allowed. The expected goals allowed per game for Orange County, 0.72. Upcoming national broadcasts include Championship and League One. Hartford and Rhode Island on Saturday in the Brinks Tires USL Cup. May 2nd, Detroit City hosting Louisville City, and AC Boise hosts FC Naples on Wednesday, May 13th. All 3 matches on the CBS Sports Network. We're getting closer to the second half. Let's get you back out to your match.
Thanks, Dan the Man. Now we're back here at the Oakland Coliseum, where it is 2-0 in favor of the Oakland Roots over Las Vegas Lights. Mark Schoenster, Ricky Lopez-Espin with you here on the broadcast. You saw mention of the Brinks Tires USL Cup. It starts this weekend, Ricky, and we're so excited to get it going. Here a look at some of the key matches to look for. Of course, the CBS Sports Network game between Rhode Island and Hartford. Going to be a big one.
Rhode Island, after their results tonight, needs to be really comfort. But Hartford Athletics started off 2026 really strong, but winless in their last 5. That's going to be a really interesting one in the Cosmos in Brooklyn. Close in proximity always makes for a good game. Top left at 2 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. And you're going to be on that call. That's going to be an interesting one.
Yes, sir. We're looking forward to getting the party going at 2 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be really early for you West Coast folks, but just roll out of bed, flick it on. Maybe you don't even need to get out of bed, actually. Won't be bedtime, or at least wake-up time, I should say, on the flip side for the Lights and the Roots when they get their action going. Both of which looking to get off on the right foot. That Las Vegas Lights game against AC Boise, really going to be interesting going up against the brand new League One side.
Nate Miller always has a really good feel what he has in his locker room to get a reaction out of his side, so he's going to be really motivated to take on a USL Championship side. But my eyes go to FC Tulsa and One Knox. FC Tulsa's runners-up in USL Championship. One Knox winning USL League One, and One Knox just actually took down an MLS side in US Open Cup, so Ian Fuller and company really confident.
A lot of games to dial into on Saturday, and you got to stay dialed in here on the Golazo Network. Let's see what unfurls here on the other end of this break in the second half.
Sana, sana.
Sana, sana, colita de rana.
Sana, sana, colita de rana. Si no sanas hoy,
sanará mañana.
Infórmese sobre un seguro médico de bajo costo o sin costo con Anthem Blue Cross. Así usted y su familia pueden sana.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kinda everything.
This spring, stay 3 nights and get a $50 Best Western gift card.
This one slipped through nicely for Williams! Shining once again for Hartford.
Quizera settles. Dodea Quizera!
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kinda everything.
This spring, stay 3 nights and get a $50 Best Western gift card.
A lot of people don't know this about UCSF, but we have more female sports doctors than anywhere else in the country.
Our Women's Sports Medicine Center is the first clinic in the Bay Area to focus on female patients. We would reconstruct the ACL. Our bodies are different. Our injuries are different.
We are constantly staying up to date on the latest science. And we're all athletes ourselves, so we understand what their goals are.
We love to help athletes get back to doing what they love.
UCSF Health.
The USL on CBS is presented by Best Western Hotels and Resorts, the official hotel partner of the United Soccer League. And by Anthem Blue Cross. Let's take a peek at the halftime highlights here. Mark Schoenster, Ricky Lopez, Espen with you. Midweek game for these two teams. You gotta think about playing along the weekend as well. Of course, you're locked in on the game in front of you. And speaking of locking in, Peter Wilson looking for his first goal of the season. He finds it here.
And it starts with Wolfgang Prentice, the ability to recycle his run, keep himself onside, and once he gets in behind, it's a first-time ball into a dangerous area. You split the difference in front of the goalkeeper behind the back line. Peter Wilson, right place, right time, good run for the reigning Golden Boot champion in USL Championship. And notice Batash, he's the one who creates this initial action and outruns that whole midfield line of the Las Vegas Lights. And it's all about his footwork here to let the ball come across his body, to be really patient. And notice how he just steps into it and attacks this ball. Top corner, no chance for Mazzola. 2-0. Oakland Roots are cruising through that first 45 minutes.
Batash putting that one on a rope. Lasered over to the left-hand side, giving the team the 2-0 lead. We'll see, can Las Vegas find some answers here in the second half, or will Oakland see this one through to the finish line? Trying to get their first win in over a month after the red-hot start to the season they had.
He replaces number 33, Aaron Kien.
Once again, our head official here, Mohammed Hassan, as both sides getting ready for this one to go here. Just waiting for all the thumbs up from everybody who needs to give the green light. And action will be delayed. 45 more minutes to go here from Oakland. The Roots up 2-0 after 45 minutes. Patash and Wilson getting on the score sheet. One change to report to you from the halftime break. Aaron Guillen makes his way off for Demi Antonoglu. Offers them a little bit more going forward from that fullback spot.
Guillen struggled to find the rhythm and the tempo of this match. Got caught in possession. Had a difficult time dealing with that man Jacobson, making his life very difficult. Antonoglu's going to give you, like you said, Mark, a little bit more going forward, quality service, more mobile as that left back position for Devin Rensing.
His corner kick is powered by Ava Community Energy. From the right flag, curling in, bounces off the chest of Mazzola. Not out of the woods yet. Jacobson. A little bit of a daring stab there to get to the ball and ends up catching a player.
Just notice the amount of whip on this ball. Nearly an Olympico, as Mazzola does come across and denies what could have been a goal of the week candidate. Good recovery there from the goalkeeper.
As a goalkeeper, you have the added advantage of using your hands, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's the only part of your body you can use to stop a shot. By whatever means necessary. Walker sprays it out to a key right, worth mentioning, on a yellow card in this game, so he'll have to remain careful with his approach. This one left over wide for Pope. Tried to send it ahead to a key right who kept on it. Even the only player for Las Vegas who still had belief that the play was alive. How about Gartig there? Florian Villot getting his first start of the season. Been helpful in what has been a cool and collected first 45 or so minutes of action here for the Oakland Roots. Jacobson was sworn by several white jerseys as this one now goes in the other direction. Prentice, a lot of real estate. Slides it to Trejo. He's still looking for his first goal this season. Danny Trejo. Blocked by Okire. And now Rodriguez. Play will go on as Arteaga tracks this down. Rodriguez still on the grass. Arteaga. Not a lot of backup. Finds Okire. He steps into a shot and it'll skip off target. Rodriguez still down and will now get checked on.
Yeah, we'll be really surprised if Tommy McCabe does not see a yellow here. To not have a transitional moment, Johnny Rodriguez just pokes this ball around, notices that McCabe's already overcommitted. Take the contact, it's a foul, but good refereeing from Mohamed Hassan to play advantage. And good to see Johnny Rodriguez up on his own power as the center back having a conversation with Mohamed Hassan.
Yellow card issued to Oakland Roots number 4.
And there it is. Tommy McCabe does deservingly pick up a yellow card.
His second of the season, McCabe. The man donning the captain's armband for Ryan Martin's side this season. .28 years old from South Orange, New Jersey. Him along with Villot and Tingy coming from Loudoun United with Ryan Martin. Been a lopsided game so far in favor of the Roots. Now, Las Vegas Lights trying to tip it back to more of an even standing, both in the stat sheet and on the scoreboard. to generate something there from the effort by Johnny Rodriguez. This will bounce back and forth between ends harmlessly. Oranga will square it in the middle for Velo, who will take it forward. Florian Velo trying to thread the needle there to Wilson. Always like an ambitious pass like that. But now Las Vegas hoping for a dangerous pass of their own in the other direction. Unable to get to that moment in the build-up.
Been a little bit more aggressive for the Las Vegas Lights. Just notice how much higher they're pressing, trying to force turnovers. But if you are going to do that, you need to stay compact. That back line needs to stay connected with that midfield line, because the last thing that you want to have happen is gaps open up. That is exactly where we're seeing Batash really operate in between lines, getting Peter Wilson and Danny Trejo involved.
Edwards will roll it in the middle for Velo. This will skip all the way along the touchline and stay in bounds. Sent back to midfield for Oakland to recollect. Coming into this game, Las Vegas feel like they're close to really getting to being a polished product. Devin Rensing saying, so that's where a lot of teams are at. So you could say that, but you have to take that next step and show it on the pitch. You've seen a lot of character from this team this year, but now you got to start seeing it translate into results. Down 2-0 in this affair. Trying to claw back in, Okire. Was able to get through two defenders, but then Velo was there to pick up the spare parts.
And just notice, Mark, every single time a winger for the Lights get aggressive and they drop really deep into their attacking third, you have three Oakland Roots players right there to squeeze them, to provide coverage off one another, and that tells you about the culture and the work rate that we're seeing from Ryan Martin's side.
All hands on deck defensively for the home side. Locker had an option out wide. In an indirect way, it does make it out to Pinzon. Antanoglu rolling it to Pinzon. Ball whipped into the middle and caught by Spiegel. Hasn't had to do a lot in this game as far as the goalkeeping, the saving side of things is concerned. Certainly had to do a lot in that game against FC Tulsa. Not often do you get yourself on Team of the Week without a clean sheet, but I mean, with the circumstances in that game, certainly deserved from Spiegel. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site. SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. Ball sent over to Trejo. Gets his chest on it. Trejo kept it in bounds. And then he barrels over one of the advertising boards.
His first touch gets away with him. Danny Trejo. It's a really good idea to continue with his momentum, but the ball just goes a little bit too far. You can see it as he runs up trying to approach the ball. Again, good movement for the Oakland Roots. Breaking that initial line of pressure, the whole field starts to open up in their favor.
Mazzola with his feet on the ball. Just roll it over to Gartig. Gartig and Jones, the center back pairing for the game here this evening. That one just too far ahead. Montanoglu giving the ball back to the Oakland Roots.
Just notice the first touch here from Danny Trejo, a little bit of hesitation right there. It keeps on going, unable to get the angle right and cut it back across. Mazzola doing a good job at coming across towards his near post and cutting that out.
Ball scuffling about. Trejo on it once again. Spray it out to Wolfgang Prentice. Never a bad idea as he sends it inside for Wilson! It's artistic for the Oakland Roots. Beautiful service and an apt poke from Peter Wilson.
This left-hand side of Danny Trejo and Wolfgang Prentice, they are just so vertical, and notice how quickly Danny Trejo gets squared up facing this back line for the Las Vegas Lights. When you have willing runners combined with the timing, it makes life very difficult. Hips facing forward, so now you have two options. And Peter Wilson, the timing of his run, just to create a little bit of separation and explode by Jones, and that is a wonderful ball again from Wolfgang Prentice. And all Peter Wilson needs to do is redirect it. Does not need to hit it hard, get any sort of touch. Mazzola can't do anything about it.
What a ball for Wolfgang Prentice. His second assist in this game to Peter Wilson, who of course gets his second goal.
And it's almost a carbon copy of the opening goal. Good first-time ball from Wolfgang Prentice, even better timing of the run from Peter Wilson. And those two players starting to form a nice relationship for Ryan Martin and the Oakland Roots.
And they're not content with just three. They're going to keep hunting for more. Pinzon has it gashed away from him. There's always so much pressure on a striker when you're not putting in the back of the net. Obviously, you have the other responsibilities as that number 9 at the top that you could still fill out, but you're getting paid the money to go score goals, and that's got to be a big monkey off his back. No goals up into this game, and now he's got a brace. Montanoglu playing to the middle, excuse me, for Ibarra. Everything going just about how you would draw it up if you're Oakland. Here's Okire. There's some room to operate. He'll swerve inside. Okire. Rodriguez takes a deflection, nearly falls to Locker.
It's just a little bit too slow for the Las Vegas Lights. Once they do get to that final third, Okire takes far too many touches, allowing the Oakland Roots get into their defensive set. It's not as efficient as you would need if you are Devin Rensing to put pressure on the Roots back line.
With just 30 minutes to go, finding a result in this game starting to become less and less of a likelihood for the Las Vegas Lights, but you still want to find just a response here. And so you want to see some character and response, and it looks like Devin Rensing is also going to find a response through some changes to personnel, including a couple of debuts this season for Las Vegas as they win the ball back here. Arteaga. nowhere to go with that one after winning the ball. Still a bit loose, though. Good effort there from the striker. Rodriguez laying it out wide, but just a little bit too much fluff on that one to Locker, as they now run in the other direction. They're Las Vegas. You never want to see that ball rolling into open space up top with the speedsters that this Oakland Roots team has. Okire. Blake Pope making his debut with Las Vegas. Biaranga doing a lot of running there to make sure possession stays with the home team. How about the effort here? Jakason still on it. Needs a tip of Tash.
Well done there.
Jakason now rolls it in centrally. And those efforts earn a corner kick for Oakland. Just seeing each individual step up and do some nice things here for Oakland.
Just the improvisation here from Batash, scooping up, allowing Jakason to run onto it. And again, trying to hit it first time and put pressure on the Las Vegas Lights back line. Really good showing by the attacking phase of play for the Roots here.
This corner kick powered by Ava Community Energy. It'll be Jesus De Vicente. Ball sent in. Two fists from Mazzola. Pinzon having to backtrack. Seeing some pressure here from the Roots, and they're able to break free of it. Now have 4 substitutions locked and loaded. Next chance we get. 3 for Las Vegas, 1 for the home team. Switch will reach Blake Pope. Oakland Roots looking at their first win in over a month. Hasn't exactly been gray skies since then. Getting a lot of draws in that stretch of time, but obviously a draw doesn't quite give you the same morale boost as 3 points does. Especially if the 3 points look the way these do so far in this match.
Just been played at a really slow tempo for the Las Vegas Lights. Just not enough movement ahead of the ball, like I continue to mention every single time when it gets into this area of the field. Arteaga, Johnny Rodriguez, Okira, Pinzon just want the ball to feet. Understanding that you need to become a little bit more selfless in terms of your movement. If you can run in behind, you pull out an Oakland Roots defender. That is when you open up space. Just no vertical threat right now for the Las Vegas Lights.
Okire has it mashed away from him by Biaranga. And we will finally get the substitutions here. Wolfgang Prentice will make his way off after tagging in 2 more assists this season. His tally now at 4 goals, 3 assists. So what a year it's been so far for the man from Redondo Beach. In comes Jackson Keel. Meanwhile, on the other side, we get a couple of Las Vegas Lights debuts.
Replacing number 18, Carson Locker.
Well, actually, we're going to check that. Jacqueson is subbing off for the Oakland Roots instead of Prentice, so Prentice will keep on going. Little last-second fake out for us here, Ricky, as now we talk about the flip side of things. Ben Mines is in for Okire, and on top of that, 2 debuts for Las Vegas. Not USL Championship debuts by any stretch. These are 2 familiar faces. Kyle Scott from Orange County, now with this Las Vegas team. Gives them some extra potential in the middle of the pitch. And then up top, Olix Anderson, Golix as he's sometimes called, over from North Carolina FC, their all-time leading scorer, will take over for Arteaga up top.
You have to think that this is a little bit of a message being sent here from Devin Rensing. Anderson's going to give you more mobility than Arteaga. He's going to run the line. He's going to stay as high as he possibly can. Ben Mines, a player that Ryan Martin extremely familiar with their time at Loudoun United. He's going to give you verticality as well. He's going to run in behind. He's going to give you pace. He's going to be a handful for Wolfgang Prentice. And Kyle Scott's going to give you stability in that central location, which has lacked for the Las Vegas Lights. So really strong subs for the Lights coming onto this field.
Trejo running forward, Danny Trejo. Good defending there. He thought he was really working his way into a dangerous spot there. Gartig, though, able to step in the way. We've now got 2 guys out there with the thick headbands. Ricky Lopez Espin, Kyle Scott, along with Florian Velo.
They have a lot of good hair out there. Danny Trejo rocking the full mohawk. Arteaga had a lot of flow going on.
When you went into a game day with a fresh cut, did you feel like you're going to have a better performance? Well, we're going to have to hold that thought as this one gets by the goalkeeper, Olix Anderson. Just moments into his debut, puts one on the board for the Lights.
Continue to mention there was just no vertical threat for the Las Vegas Lights. Phenomenal little pocket of space from Ben Mines, and it's just so instinctual from Olix Anderson. As Spiegel comes in, you have to go around the goalkeeper. Pace, cleverness, and a composed finish. And the Las Vegas Lights have a little bit of life here.
You mentioned a statement being made by Devin Rensing with those substitutions, and immediately Ben Mines and Olix Anderson combining. Both of which perhaps making a statement of their own. Hey, I should be in that starting 11.
Especially when you're playing against a team on the road, you need someone that's going to test the shape. You need someone that's going to stretch the field, because it does 2 things. Number one, if they don't mark and respect the space, you can just play over the top. And a defender and a goalkeeper hate when there's a little bit of confusion in terms of the placement of the ball being played into. And number 2, if they do respect it, now they have to drop, and you can play in between lines. So you have that balance going forward for the Las Vegas Lights, and that is something that has lacked since Olix Anderson and Ben Mines came onto this field.
Rodriguez able to get by one defender. Scooting into the middle. Rodriguez lifting over to Anderson. He'll tap it back. Life suddenly for the Lights. Mines blocked away. Olix Anderson across USL League One and Championship play with North Carolina FC. 45 goals, so no stranger to scoring. And he very quickly turns the attention of Las Vegas Lights fans mere moments after subbing on for his opening minutes with his new club.
Yeah, the movement is really well, but really smart thinking as well from Anderson. You have to be aware of where the goalkeeper is. Spiegel really aggressive, go around him.
Pope, that one deflects. Scott trying to rip it out wide to Mines. All three substitutions have come in and provided a spark here for Las Vegas as a foul is drawn by the other substitution, Jackson Keel. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more. All on Sirius XM FC 157 in the Sirius XM app. You gotta tune in to USL All Access with Mike Watts and Devin Kerr as they preview the Brinks Tires USL Cup as we see Florian Velo on one knee. This injury timeout is brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross. Anthem is transforming healthcare by improving the health of our local communities. Velo, first start of the season for the Frenchman. Been really good in this game. Been super helpful to his back line. And so Velo will get tended to here. And it looks like it'll be the last bit of action for him in this matchup this Wednesday night as a substitution is getting ready for him, along with for Danny Trejo.
Really solid showing for Florian Velo. Getting his first start in a Roots jersey. Comfortability, structure, stability, but you do not like to see that shaking his head as he does make way for Ali Masnaoui coming into the field.
Well, Ricky, it's been a night of players getting their first minutes of the season. On one end, we see Olex Anderson along with Kyle Scott, and now for the Oakland Roots, Ali El Masnaoui returning for his third year with the club, getting his first minutes. And along with that, Keegan Tingy, the final prong of the trifecta, coming over from Loudoun, making his debut for Ryan Martin once again, this time in Oakland Roots colors.
Yeah, Keegan Tingy would play on the right-hand side at that right back position. He's going to give you work rate. He's going to give you, again, directness. And when he does get into that final third, has the quality to serve in a really dangerous ball. So another big piece that Ryan Martin was able to bring over from Loudoun United to the Roots.
We got goals, debuts. Lots of exciting stuff here this evening. The CBS Sports Golazo Network. We've now had 8 total goals between 2 matches in this little Wednesday doubleheader. Like I said, midweek matches get a little saucy. Also an interesting match yesterday in USL Championship. Not often you get a Tuesday game, but Sac Republic in Brooklyn. A bit of a boxing match.
I think one thing that we've seen through 2026 thus far is just a parity in this league. Every single time, every single game, there's something that has happened. There's a result that surprises you. Another good ball from Wolfgang.
Wow, ambitious lunging for the ball there. Jackson Keel folding himself in half, trying to get on the end of that pass. And he's ambitious there, but a little bit too physical.
Just the timing of the balls from Wolfgang Prentice has been really good for the Roots. Again, not needing a first touch, just hitting it back across. Keel trying to lower his head, unable to make clean contact. Good ball again from Prentice.
All right, Knight Pickering, some added firepower. Will sub on for Blake Pope, so, I mean, the indicator there. All systems firing forward for Las Vegas Lights with 15 minutes to go.
From your seat and pick it up after the match at our H-Lot 10.
Michael Edwards. Roll it to his right. Patash. Tapped out. Wilson now tucking in to that sort of attacking midfield trio, allowing Jackson Keel to sit up top. Worth reiterating, Reloaded back line today for the Oakland Roots. Wolfgang Prentice, Michael Edwards. Seems like it's been more Tommy McCabe than Biaranga on that back line. And then Jesus De Vicente. Kyle Scott. One of 5 players today to get their first minutes of the season between these two clubs. Anderson, another one of those guys, also scored, gets knocked over. And that'll be a free kick in a dangerous spot. Michael Edwards picks up his first booking of the season.
Anderson has given the Las Vegas Lights a little bit of life going forward just with his work rate. Notice this touch right here. Edwards gets too close. He recognizes it, touch around the corner, feel the contact, take the contact, and go down and get Michael Edwards into the book. Well done by Anderson again.
Down 3-0, you're thinking that the odds of making something happen in this game are pretty slim, but 13 minutes to go. There's certainly been some promise here for the visitors. They've proven this season that there's not a lot of quit on this team, even when they go down. Scott. Placing this one in, and it's caught by Spiegel. Easy business for the goalkeeper, and oh my goodness.
A little bit too eager there. The Spiegel almost walking out of the box with the ball.
The forward momentum was just taking him as Pickering rolls it inside. Another one back for the Lights. These substitutes keep on cooking for Vegas. Johnny Rodriguez, the one pokes it home. Serviced by Knight Pickering.
More verticality for the Las Vegas Lights. Pickering doing a good job at staying on side. Ben Mines draws in 2 Roots defender. And you put the ball into a dangerous area, you will get rewarded. That is an acrobatic finish from Johnny Rodriguez. Almost a no look. Get it on target, you give yourself a chance. And Johnny Rodriguez gets his 4th on the year. And more importantly, 1-goal game here in the Coliseum.
Yeah, game on. A twisting finish from Johnny Rodriguez. This game has turned to a different page since these subs have come on. As Spiegel has to lunge into that one to keep it away from Rodriguez. In a game that was so dominated by Oakland, suddenly the Lights have taken over. Ibarra with the long ball, and it'll roll out to Spiegel. eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. With 10 minutes to go. It's the last 10 minutes that have really flipped this game on its head. A goal in the 69th minute from Mines to Anderson. And then just a moment ago in the 78th, Pickering to Rodriguez. Hopeful ball up ahead for Jones. Prentice able to maintain possession as it now rolls out to the left-hand side for De Vicente. Gartig hoping to find a lane, and now Scott just a little too far ahead of Ben Mines. The USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN+. Go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. Stay dialed in here, folks. A game that we thought had maybe gotten away has come back into view. Las Vegas Lights, now the aggressors. Rodriguez.
Great
Lovely
touch.
ball. And the ref says it's clean. Knight Pickering goes down. There was certainly a question there.
Love the movement from Knight Pickering off the shoulder. That is tight. But I think what saves Mohamed Hassan from blowing the whistle is that the Vicente does not come through the back of Knight Pickering. Second look at it would have been really difficult to point to 12 yards out, as there is a little bit of contact here from Anderson catching Spiegel.
Rafael Spiegel grabbing his right leg. The 33-year-old goalkeeper needs some stretching here. This injury timeout brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross. Anthem is transforming healthcare by improving the health of our local communities. In some pain here, the Swiss goalkeeper. Went from thinking about a clean sheet in this game to now just hoping that his team can hang on.
Maybe a little bit of complacency starting to creep in for the Oakland Roots, and that is something that if you are Ryan Martin, you're not going to be pleased about. Got a lot more expansive defensively. And we talked about the parity in USL Championship, but how ruthless it is as well.
So he's back up on his feet here, Spiegel. A guy who's been really good for the Roots this season if you, I guess, blot out that one game against Orange County where there are just some hiccups. Outside of that, though, he's been really good for Ryan Martin's side, who he in particular said he's been tremendous. A guy who's been better with his feet than anticipated coming into this season, been able to get himself out of binds, and of course he's a big guy who can stop shots, which is primary number one with the goalkeeper. Ben Mines working against his former coach. Played with him for Loudoun last year. 3 goals, 7 assists. Gets his second assist of this season when he was able to combine with Olex Anderson. Scott was looking for Knight Pickering.
Ben Mines also had a really big part of the second goal for the Las Vegas Lights. Draw in 2 Roots defenders. You allow Knight Pickering to find that pocket of space, which eventually finds Johnny Rodriguez. But just the subs that Devin Rensing has brought onto this field has given the Las Vegas Lights a different look going forward. Well done by the head coach at pressing all the right buttons.
Jones under duress. Wilson!
Has to be a pen.
And it will be. Extra effort from Peter Wilson. Puts Nate Jones in a bad spot. And the man with 2 goals in this game already, trying to stave off this Lights comeback.
This is just pure will from Peter Wilson. Wants it that much more than Jones. Does a good job at the last second coming across the center back and inviting the contact. He feels anything, he goes down, and he draws a pen for the Oakland Roots as Kyle Scott goes into the book. It seems like we're jawing at Mohamed Hassan.
Nate Jones, the 24-year-old center back, just unable to keep up with the pacey Peter Wilson, who is really putting in burn here 86 minutes into the game, and he's already made a ton of runs in this game. He's just got that battery.
Notice right here comes across. And yes, he does drag his legs a little bit to invite a contact. But as an attacking player, you assert your dominance. You come across really clever from Peter Wilson, and it's actually Jones who picks up the yellow card.
So Wilson goes to the line, looking to make it a hat trick. Peter Wilson, one-on-one with Mazzola. Rushes up. USL Championship. You need to be on notice. Peter Wilson has arrived. A hat trick for the Golden Boot winner. 0 goals coming into this game. Now he's got a handful.
Creates this out of nothing, Peter Wilson. This is just pure work rate. Notice the angle right here. Comes across Nate Jones, slows his body down to invite the contact, and this little bit of a stutter step blanks Mazzola. And there's only one winner when you're 12 yards out, with a little bit of technique, a little bit of pace, and a little bit of venom from Peter Wilson. Confidence is a scary thing for a striker, and Peter Wilson is full of it to get his hat trick here.
19 goals, 5 assists last season. It took him until his 6th game this season, but the floodgates have officially opened. And the Roots have a 2-goal lead once again. So our initial impression earlier, Ricky, was correct. Kyle Scott was the one who got the booking, not Nate Jones for the foul. As we've had to do a couple times tonight, got to keep you on your toes as we get the word from down on the pitch. And here's the scoop for you folks. There's been a lot to unpack in this game. And at that top of the list is, of course, Peter Wilson making his entry in the goal-scoring category here today. This one tapped out to the left-hand side. Rolled out to Anderson. Curling ball. Caught by Spiegel. Down a total of 10 goals here in the midweek. Or not in this one Wednesday, because also we had the game yesterday. Both of the games today, of course, on Golazo. The home team scoring 4 goals in each of the matches. Kiel. Mines. With the one touch, well, connect with Rodriguez. Gartig whipping it across. Pickering tried to acrobat that one onto goal. And here goes this guy running again. Wilson once again gets the better of Jones. Jones does enough to keep him from going towards goal, but boy, is the veteran striker been a handful.
That is really good work from Kiel there. Tracks down a ball, drains some clock, and continues to maintain possession for the Oakland Roots. Well done by the sub, making an impact.
substitution.
2 more changes incoming for the home side here.
Number 42, Emilio Martinez. He replaces.
And it's going to be 2 of the academy kids getting some minutes here, as the hero of this game, Peter Wilson, sees his night come to a conclusion. As a matter of fact, the goal scorers in this match for the Roots both going to the bench here. So Bradley Robertson, getting his 2nd appearance of the season, will be on for Wilson.
As we take a look at Peter Wilson's goal, just the timing from the front two, very prevalent, and then from 12 yards out, automatic, well-taken pen to get his hat trick.
So Batash, the other one coming off, as Emilio Martinez makes his debut. A 20-year-old who was the Project 510 Player of the Year in 2025. Him and Robertson both on those academy contracts, and it's a fun little change of fates here for Ryan Martin, who now manages the primary team here for Oakland, as opposed to sort of being the subsidiary of DC United last 7 years with Loudon. He said, for the first time in my life, the question isn't always, how does this help DC United? And they're the priority now, but he understands what it means to be on that other side, and he knows the shoes of his coaching staff for Project 510 and what it means when you're taking players from their team and bringing them up to the first side. And so he has that context, that empathy for what that team is trying to do, because look, they're trying to win games and compete at their level, and it's such an interesting dynamic between first and second teams and academy programs. You certainly want to get it right, because when it's all working together, then it's going to result in everybody winning. Mines popping it up ahead, and then Wolfgang Prentice takes a shot to the head, and they're going to quickly wave on the trading staff, which good refereeing from Mohammed Hassan.
Yeah, it's good refereeing. You see Tommy McCabe wanting this game to end, but a potential head injury, you have to call and blow the whistle immediately. You see the signals between Mohammed Hassan and the players. There's clear contact here from Ben Mines and Wolfgang Prentice, and notice the initial response from Wolfgang straight to his head. Top priority is the health of all of these players, and that's exactly what you need to do if you are refereeing this game. Well done from Mohammed Hassan, despite all the arguments from every single player.
Yeah, I'm a little shocked Prentice in particular is a little indignant about it when his immediate reaction was hands on his head. But, you know, you're locked in the moment in the game, and you're not exactly worried about what the proper procedure is for the official. Well, this is a game that had a dramatic swing in momentum in favor of Las Vegas Lights, but when you've got a premier goal scorer like Peter Wilson at your behest, you can take it all back in just one moment. And there's really only kind of a half moment that he turned into a full opportunity just by being so persistent.
Just creates it out of nothing and tells you about the work rate and the mentality of Peter Wilson. The 90th minute to hunt down a hopeful 50-50 ball over 30 yards. To claw and fight for every inch. No coincidence why he won the golden boot last season in the USL Championship.
Ben Mines running along the touchline. You mentioned it earlier. Oh, takes a tumble there, pushed down. It's going to be a deep throw in, but Robertson throwing in a shove at the last second, but needlessly. I was about to say it's, once again, a good example of Oakland always having two guys on a player going out wide, but Robertson getting a little bit too exuberant there. essentially a corner kick for Las Vegas. That one falls inside the penalty area, but right to a black jersey. And that'll do it here from the Oakland Coliseum. 4 goals, including 3 from Peter Wilson, propels Oakland Roots to 3 points for the first time in over a month. And if you wanted to take a wild guess at who our fighter of the match is, presented by Modelo, a reward for those with a fighting spirit. Modelo, the mark of the fighter. You'd be kidding yourself if it was anyone other than Peter Wilson. No goals coming into this game. Now he's got 3 of them.
The type of performance that you need if you are Peter Wilson and the Oakland Roots. It's going to be a weight off the shoulders for Ryan Martin to see that man confident, because you saw in 2025 what he was able to do when he gets in a rhythm. Really well done by Peter Wilson and the Oakland Roots to pick up the points.
Well, with that in mind, we're going to step aside for a quick break. When we come back, we'll wrap things up here on Golazo. 4-2 your final score. The Oakland Roots victorious at home.
Sana, sana.
Sana, sana, colita de rana.
Sana, sana, colita de rana. Si no sanas hoy,
Sanará mañana.
Learn about low to no cost health insurance with Anthem Blue Cross, so you and your family can sana sana.
You've earned this, so hold it up high. You might not be related, but you're still family. You don't just give an extra hand. You give your whole heart and a whole lot of muscle. Because it feels good to raise up the community that raised you. You are a fighter, and this is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
Sana, sana.
Sana, sana, colita de rana.
sana, sana, colita de rana. Si no sanas hoy,
Sanará mañana.
Infórmese sobre un seguro médico de bajo costo o sin costo con Anthem Blue Cross. Así usted y su familia pueden sana sana.
Back here for closing thoughts from the Oakland Coliseum. A lot in this game worth unpacking. 4-2 your final score. The Oakland Roots getting 3 points over the Las Vegas Lights. Mark Schoenster, Ricky Lopez has been with you here on Golazo as we get the full-time highlights. Both sides eager coming into this one for the midweek and getting the goal scoring started. The first of 3 for Peter Wilson.
Just his timing, the ability to run in between 2 defenders. Peter Wilson, Aaron Guillen, Gartic never sees him. Mazzola tries to deflect the ball. Peter Wilson gets his opener, and just notice again, off the movement, this time Batash comes underneath Jockerton, and this is a rocket. Just lets his ball come across his body and just attacks it. Shoulder squared to that top corner. Fantastic strike for Batash.
Then in the second half, they would keep the goal scoring going. This is a beautiful ball from Wolfgang Prentice.
Yeah, they hit it first time, but the timing from Peter Wilson. He starts his run and he pulls Jones away, and as he understands Wolfgang is going to hit it, that is when he slashes across the face of Jones to get his second. Ben Mines, really well done. Just so instinctual first from Ben Mines, and even better from Anderson underneath. Understanding Spiegel's coming off his line, go around him, well taken by the sub.
And then a second goal here really lit the fire for Las Vegas Lights. Knight Pickering gets open in the space.
Knight Pickering does a good job at continuing to run this ball to that corner. Johnny Rodriguez, almost a no-look, really well taken by the striker. See the frustration for Spiegel, and just notice Peter Wilson draws the foul. He invites the contact. Nate Jones had a really difficult evening at the center of the back line for the Las Vegas Lights, and that is 3 goals. That's a hat trick for Peter Wilson and 3 points for the Oakland Roots.
Here are your full-time stats in this game. Oakland really comfortable in the first half. The second half, a little bit more shaky, but they're able to see it through.
A lot of positives for Ryan Martin, and it starts with the performance. The only thing that he's going to be a little bit frustrated is that you let the door open for the Las Vegas Lights. For Devin Rensing, there's a lot that you need to start to figure out, because when you brought in your subs, it gave you a little bit of life. It gave you more of an attacking presence, all to play for as they continue in 2026.
And now attention turns to the Brinks Tires USL Cup. It'll be a road trip to Monterey Bay for the Oakland Roots. Meanwhile, back home to play AC Boise, the League One side, for the Las Vegas Lights. And this is where our show will end, and our Golazo doubleheader on the USL Championship wraps up. The Oakland Roots victorious 4-2 here at home. For our entire broadcasting crew, Ricky Lopez Epspin, my name is Mark Schoenster. Y'all have a fantastic night, and we'll see you on the weekend.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.